Hi, I'm Toby from TPD HiFi, and today we're coming at you with a brand new kit that we've created for the classic Bronco, which covers the years 1966 through 1977. We've been restoring Broncos for quite a few years, all the way from the ground up, and whenever we get to come to the point where we're getting ready to put the stereo system in, we always feel like we're limited by our choices. We always have the factory speaker location in the dashboard, which is a small 5¼ inch. It's a single speaker. You end up having to use a dual voice coil speaker, which essentially gives you no right and left stereo separation anymore. And we have our typical classic car stereo looking Bluetooth head units and not much else. It's difficult to put amplifiers in Broncos. You got to mount stuff under the seat or in the rear, which requires running wires. And there's a lot of constraints in Broncos. You can't just simply run wires down the floor under the carpet like you would with most classic vehicles. A lot of people run Broncos with soft tops or no tops, and having the wires on the floor is not acceptable. So our choices end up being really limited. We end up with a small speaker in the dash, a small low-powered Bluetooth head unit, and with the top off, you can really barely hear the audio over the wind noise. So as a result, and as a result of our frustrations with not having a good audio solution for the classic Broncos, we designed this kit with the challenges of the Bronco in mind, as well as sound quality, taking both into consideration. Our classic Bronco audio package starts with our revolutionary kick panel design that's made from high-strength ABS plastic and then backed with Morel AccuDamp sound deadener for extra mass and sound deadening. What makes our kick panels even more unique is they're built around Morel's Virtus Nano carbon driver, which, as you can see, is incredibly thin. It's only about 17 millimeters thick, so it's actually shallower than our kick panel, which is just under 1.5 inches deep. In the Bronco, this is particularly important because not only does the kick panel have to have a way to mount, which we utilize the door straps, so it allows the kick panel to bolt into place with existing hardware. And then there's just one additional fastener that needs to be added underneath the speaker. This also allows the kick panels to clear classic auto air or vintage air systems that are on the passenger side, as well as on the driver's side. It clears the factory parking brake, which has been a huge challenge. There's kick panels out there that end up sticking out a lot further than they should, forcing you to modify the parking brake or remove it or move it. Ours fits actually within the factory foot activated parking brake. So the Morel nanocarbons provide our mid and high-end high-end range of the frequency response. We need to get a subwoofer in place. Subwoofers are difficult in Broncos. If you build a typical enclosure out of MDF or something similar to that, you end up with having to take a lot of time and effort to seal it, make sure that moisture doesn't get in and degrade the materials over time. So materials in classic Broncos that are going to be exposed to the elements are really important. So we solve this with the Musway 6.5-inch powered subwoofer system. All the electronics are actually in an aluminum enclosure, so that protects it from the elements. And then we take it a step further by building a custom bracket that allows you to unbolt the seat on the passenger side, install our subwoofer, and bolt the seat back down without any modifications. So this is how we get our low frequency response in the Bronco. And it also includes a remote base knob that gives you a status light as well. So when your system is on, you have an LED in your dash indicating that your system is live. And then you can adjust the bass level on the fly, depending on your taste and depending on the type of music you're listening to. At the heart of our classic Bronco audio kit is the Musway D1S. It's an amplifier that's in a very, very small package, but don't let the size fool you. It's a Class AB amplifier, so it's known for sound quality. The Musway D1S has a built-in DSP or digital signal processor. That allows us to utilize all the power from all 4 channels, 2 channels to run one speaker and 2 channels to run the other speaker, dividing up the power between the tweeter and the woofer. This does a couple things. It allows us to fine tune the frequency response of each speaker individually. It also allows us to not have to use the large crossover boxes that would take up room under the dash of your Bronco. In addition, having a DSP allows us to take the tune that we've developed over several customers' vehicles and preload it to the amplifier so that you can start out with a perfectly tuned system for the Bronco. And at that point, all you have to do is fine tune your bass and treble through the head unit, or if you're not using a head unit, fine tune the EQ through your smartphone. We bring it all together with the harness package that allows you to install the system without having to look for parts. We have a power harness and we have an audio harness. Our power and subwoofer harness has high quality OEM level connectors. Our fuse holders have fuses included. Everything is sealed with marine heat shrink and everything is loomed. All our connections that go to our head unit. We even include the correct size rubber grommets to go through the firewall. You start by running the power harness to the subwoofer under the seat. Everything is ran under the vehicle, so all the wires are protected. And then you run your connections up to the battery where you hook up power and ground. And then you run the signal portion of the harness in under the dash to your amplifier. Make 3 connections there, and then you plug in your amplifier harness and you plug in your kick panels. It's that easy, and your system's ready to be programmed and ready to go. If you have a head unit, we even supply the RCAs for connecting your head unit's output to the system. So if you want to operate your system through a head unit, it's no problem. We include everything you need with minimal connections. So if you have a classic Bronco or you're in the process of building a classic Bronco, what are you waiting for? Come on over to tpdhifi.com. We've got this audio kit on our website ready to go now, as well as other products for your classic Bronco.